Hi guys, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New York City, Season 11, Episode 15, Life is Not a Cabaret. Oh boy. The ladies are still in Miami and I am at the public library. If you guys also watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you already know this, but if this is the only recap of mine that you watch, let me catch you up. We are having work done on the bathroom in our basement. Our basement is where I normally am sitting and filming all this. So I went to the library and I checked out this creative room where I should show you guys around a little bit. There's like keyboards and computers and a TV and this lighting and the green screen behind me. It's real awesome. You could even check out microphones and cameras, all kinds of different equipment. I didn't really have time to try and figure out how to use all that, so I am still just on my phone like usual and using my little microphone. But yeah, I mean, if I ever have time one day, I would like to come here and just see what they have and play around with it a little bit. So I'm really lucky that I have this nice quiet place to work. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the show opens. It is the morning after Ramona's big party, and Tinsley and Bethany are in bed together again, so I don't know how that house had more bedrooms than it did ladies, so why we've got doubling up, I don't know. I would like my own bed, but I guess it's more fun for them to have it be like a sleepover. I don't know. Anyway, Bethany again looks like hell. You know, these ladies maybe shouldn't be hitting it hard every night, right? Barbara is down in the kitchen making a smoothie or something. And Bethany said to Tinsley, who are you talking to? And she was on the phone with Dale. And then she said, did you hear from Brett? And that's the guy that Bethany tried to fix Tinsley up with. And she's like, oh yeah, he texted me. All right, you guys, what is this morning voice of Tinsley's? It is about 4 octaves lower than her normal little girl baby doll voice. She went from you guys, oh my God, to phone sex operator. Well, yeah, he did call. This morning voice is everything.
Said, good morning, Tins. Good to chat with you last night.
If you can get away at all today, I'd like to take you for a down low drink. And she goes, what is a down low drink? And Bethany's like, he just means low key, quiet place or something. But we get this flashback of the night before, and Tinsley's like, how old are I'm sorry, but how old are you? How old are you? I'm sorry, and he goes, what? And she goes, I'm sorry, how old are you? And he goes, 60. 60? What is happening in this world? I feel like I'm in Twilight Zone. Are there no eligible straight men in New York City? There's so many people in New York. I guess Tinsley thought he was cute. I don't know if she's gonna go out for a drink with him, but actually, I don't even know if she thought he was cute. She may just be saying that for Bethany's sake. I don't know. So then Bethany starts talking about Sonia the night before. Yeah, remember Sonia who was gonna take it slow and she was having a glass of soda water with just a splash of vodka? Yeah, throughout the night, apparently that balance may have started to shift. And I guess at one point she smashed her foot down on a coffee table, a glass table, and almost broke it. And she did break a glass during the night. And okay, you guys, listen, this is stuff we're just hearing about. It didn't even make it on the show. You know that if any of that stuff, that B-roll stuff that really doesn't make it in the final cut, if any of that happened during Beverly Hills or Orange County, that would be front and center a story that they talked about all season long. But on New York City, don't even blink because that stuff doesn't even make it through the final cut. I would rather New York City be 2 hours long and show us everything, right? And maybe cut out some of the other cities that aren't really cutting it. Over in Sonia and Ramona's room, Sonia's like, did you go out last night? And Ramona's like, no, I went to bed with you at 3 o'clock. And she goes, oh, I thought maybe you went out and came back. And then in comes Bethany looking like a gangsta. Hood up, glasses on, ready for some real talk. So she's like, I wanted to talk to Sonia. And she sits down and she's like, the night before last was, it was really rough. And Ramona's like, yeah, you could have died. You could have died. Sonia's like, yeah. So in Sonia's confessional, she said, I appreciate that Bethany wants to help, but I think she's overreacting. Sonia seemed to be well aware of what she had done the night before. She said, yeah, I was trying to be funny. I put my foot up and I was trying to be funny. But Bethany thinks that she's making bad decisions, like it being a glass table and everything, and Bethany is concerned about she could have put her foot through the table, obvious stuff. And Sonia seems to think that she knew exactly what she was doing. I don't know if she did or didn't, because again, we didn't get to see that part. Oh, well, Luann just pops in the room at the right moment because Bethany is about to say that if Luann is going to a meeting, you should go with her. You don't have a healthy relationship with alcohol. Now, Sonia said, if I have to work the next day, I don't drink. If my daughter is with me, I don't drink. So, she definitely seems like she's got a problem with something. If she can stop, okay, that's great. But then she goes on a bender when it's like every night out of control, and that feels a little, just a scotch unhealthy, right? Like I said, of course Luann is loving it. In her confessional, she said, I'm glad that somebody other than me thinks that Sonia should join me at a meeting. Thankfully, someone finally took their blinders off. Well, Sonia agreed to go to a meeting with Luann at noon. She doesn't want to go. The second Luann tried to say something to Sonia, she was like, I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me because I think it's condescending. Bethany's coming from a place of compassion and you're coming from a place of superiority or something like that. I don't know that that's necessarily true. I just think Sonia is in love with Bethany. I think she loves her and wants her to reciprocate that love, and so she's going for Bethany. I can't say if she'll get anything out of the meeting, and I don't know if one singular meeting is, beneficial, but I guess that's what's happening. Okay, this is interesting. They're down in the kitchen now, and Bethany says to Tinsley, okay, I texted Brett, and he wants you to text him later. He said you have his number, LOL, something like that. But we can see her phone, and this is what the conversation says, you guys. Okay, Brett says, hi, very nice people. I'm around today, so let me know when filming ends. LOL. I don't know why the LOL. Bethany says, which of the girls are you interested in? I thought he was for Tinsley. So he says, I spoke to Tinsley most of the night. Luann is friends with some of my friends. Bethany says, okay, so pick one. Or both. Yeah. Brett says, have Tinsley text me. LOL. She has my number. Bethany says, okay, so that's your choice. I agree. I don't think Tinsley knew all that, but he did pick Tinsley. Now Ramona walks up. Tinsley said, you went out with him before? And Bethany said, no, he met me by the pool for drinks at some hotel. And she said, and then they went out to dinner with a friend of theirs, but not like it wasn't really a date or anything. So Ramona said, oh, I didn't get to meet that friend of yours, Brian or something. And she goes, Brett. Yeah, he's kind of my type. And Tinsley's like, no. He's mine. Now Ramona's trying to get in on that. First of all, Ramona, your guy's cuter. Just saying. I don't know what you want with this Brett guy. Unless it's like a monetary thing, I don't know how much they're worth. And I don't know if that's what this is. But it just based on looks alone, why is he your type and not the guy you were actually with? Tinsley goes, no, we're not doing this. And she's like, what do you mean? He's not for you. He's not gonna have kids. You want kids. Which is a good point, actually. And Tinsley's like, well, that doesn't matter. I mean, I could kiss him or something. I mean, you could, but you don't have to. Can't Tinsley do better than a 60-year-old man? As I think about it, she is a handful. So maybe she can't. So Tinsley's like, I got this one. You know what? Let me show you something on my phone. And Ramona goes, I don't need to see anything on your phone. Oh, God. None of us need to see anything on Tinsley's phone because what she shows us is a picture from TMZ of Ramona and Harry Dubin. And they're like, their mouths are so wide open. It is gross. I mean, it would be like watching your grandpa French kiss somebody. No, thank you. Tinsley's confessional. She's like, oh my God, the way those two were going at it, they were bound to get caught. It was like two crocodiles going at it. She's right. Sonia comes down into the room now, and she's got these super cute, like rose gold aviators, and she's got like a sheer lacy white top and white jeans, and you can see the like a white little bathing suit top on underneath, I guess. And she looks really cute. Luann's like, oh, sweetie, I mean, you look fabulous, but maybe not for a meeting. And she's like, what? What's wrong with it? I only packed for a luxury vacation. And she's like, you look like you're going to the beach. And she said, well, Bethany told me I could go in my underwear. And Bethany's like, yeah, I've been to an AA meeting before. And she goes, not in Miami, you haven't. It's like church. In Luann's confessional, she's like, I mean, these are men who are trying to get over alcoholism. Yeah, alcoholism, not sex addiction. I thought it was fine. But anyway, she's leaving to go get a t-shirt with Dorinda. Oh, I should say that meanwhile, Barbara was outside doing a workout with a trainer. Now she comes in the room and Bethany said, what's going on with you? You don't seem happy. Barbara said, well, I was going to talk to y'all later, but since you brought it up. You guys, do I feel sorry for Barbara? I'm having a feeling inside and I'm unfamiliar with it. I mean, as it pertains to Barbara. Barbara says that she feels a little bit like on the outside. Nobody ever asks me what I have going on. I feel a little bit different from all of you guys. Then Ramona said, you're bringing that on yourself because you're acting like you don't fit in, but you're the one who's acting like you don't fit in. You're bringing that vibe, and now Bethany is agreeing with Ramona, which is never a good thing. But she said, yeah, you are. You're bringing that energy like you're a Debbie Downer. And she said, I am? And they're like, yes. Even Luann chimes in now with this, it's bad energy. Your energy is everything. Okay, so you know how I feel about anybody getting ganged up on. There is just some sort of visceral thing inside me that is immediately wanting to come to the rescue of the person that's getting ganged up on, whether I like them or not. I think that's what's happening with my feelings about Barbara right now. Plus, I would also like to point out to Barbara that not fitting in with this group isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's bad for my television viewing pleasure. You're boring and I don't want you on the show. But in real life, I wouldn't fit in with them either. But Luann jumping on the bandwagon there, and it wasn't right. So then she's like, Sonia, I'm leaving in 5 minutes. Meet me in front. In the confessional, Barbara said, Luann has pretty much abandoned me. All she's thinking about or caring about is herself. Has that been ever any different? You're her friend. Has she ever been a person who thinks about others? I kind of doubt it. This is sad then. To Bethany, she's kind of crying, and she said, you guys want me to go? Oh. And Bethany's like, no, I don't want you to leave. I love you. I care about you, but I think you want to leave. And Barbara goes, I don't want to leave. I'm telling you the reasons I'm feeling like this. And she's like really crying. Oh my God, you guys, Barbara's breaking my heart. Okay, so Sonia and Luann go off to their AA meeting. The rest of the ladies go to a hotel pool, I guess, to lounge by the pool. They have all their like beautiful beach cover-ups on over their bikinis. Then we see that it's an hour later and Sonia's like, well, I'm glad that's over. Yeah, so I don't know how much she got out of the meeting. What Sonia says is, the meeting was terrible. I felt helpless. Luann was in her element and she could tell her story and make people laugh. And I just sat there like, I can't help these people. I can't bring them home to the townhouse. What could I do? So she was really coming at it from a place of, yeah, this is you all's problem. This is not my problem. And that's why she was like, I can't help these people. It's a little hard to get help when that's your attitude going in, right? Okay, so the ladies got a cabana by the pool and now they're ordering lunch. And Sonia and Luann are joining them now. Dorinda's like, I just realized something. I haven't eaten since lunch yesterday. And I didn't even have a very big lunch. Okay. If anybody should have been joining Lou at that meeting, just saying, there's somebody else that might have benefited as well. But she's been flying under the radar because Sonia's been acting so crazy. How do you forget to eat for like a day and a half? Oh, okay, well, Sonia is not liking the cabana at all because I guess the cushions are wet and she's like, oh, this is wet over here. What? And it's wet over there? I mean, do you guys want to stay here? Are you liking this? Where's B? Yes, because of course Bethany will make things all right for you, right, Sonia? And she's like, oh, I don't like this in the sand. And you know how easygoing Luann is, right? Where's the coffee? She goes, well, it's the beach, Sonia. There's going to be sand. What do you expect? Now Bethany's back and she's like, oh, well, looks like the AA meeting worked out really well for you. Must have been very relaxing. So Bethany's like, I really think that all AA meetings are different and this just was triggering for Sonia somehow. So she's telling Sonia, all right, well, we'll leave then. Side note, Bethany's bathing suit is super cute. Oh my God. Dorinda goes, wow, that came out of nowhere. And Tinsley goes, yeah, she needs a drink. Good call, Tinsley. So Sonia is able to like talk to the whole group and tell them what she's feeling. And she's like, it was too much hearing everybody's stories. Luann likes to get up there and tell her story and how she was arrested and make people laugh. And Luann's like, I told my story. But to Sonia, it resonates with her for a long time, and she really is feeling bad for these people. It's still sticking with her, and it's bothering her. Bethany said, maybe it was kind of scary. And she goes, well, I love my life. I love my life right now, but she's worried about her daughter because her father is so old, and he's not going to be around for much longer, and then it's going to be all on her. And, I don't know, it brought up some stuff for her, let's put it that way. So they said, all right, we're going to get the food to go, and we're going to go back home. Luann is like having a conversation by herself. I don't know. She's like, I thought this was going to be like on the beach, like swimming in the ocean. Does anybody want to go to the beach and go for a swim? And there's like dead silence. Barbara's like, not really. Both Bethany and Dorinda said it's like Luann is so tone deaf. I think Bethany said, it's like she's got sequin earmuffs on. No, it's none of those things. It's that Luann cares about nothing or no one other than herself. That's why those AA meetings don't bother her. All those things that were bothering Sonia, you know, this guy is homeless now. How about that guy who kept moving from city to city to try to escape from himself and he ruined his marriage and everything? I promise you that Luann probably didn't even know that those two men were in that meeting. That's how she's getting through it. Okay, so Luann stayed to go to the beach all by herself, and the rest of them went back with the food. So they're at the house now. Luann is swimming in the ocean, and they're unpacking all the food. Ramona goes, they forgot the truffle fries. And Bethany's like, you're kidding me. That was like the one thing that everybody really wanted was these truffle fries. So Ramona is calling. They're like, let's get Luann to bring them back. Ramona's calling Luann. Bring back 2 orders of truffle fries. Then it cuts over to Luann, who's just sitting in a beach chair on the beach, sipping her Diet Coke, you know. You know she's not bringing back truffle fries for anybody. You're going to have to make Tage do it. Oh my God, you guys. All right, well, I don't know. Is Luann walking home from the beach? I don't even know how far away the beach is from the house they're staying at, but Luann's just now walking down the streets of Miami. And then she comes across this, like, is it a theater? I don't know what it is, but we cut back and forth between the ladies who are having a really nice lunch now. Bethany is making like homemade crab cakes, and yeah, I mean, they all wish that the truffle fries were there as a little side dish, but you know, you asked Luann to bring them, so you have to know that they're not coming. So they're talking about her and they're like, where is she? She was just going to take a dip in the ocean, and then that was like 5 hours ago. We just see her, like I said, she's just strolling down the street. And then Dorinda said, well, I know she wanted to go and see her poster. And they're like, what poster? A poster of her Countess and Friends cabaret was in front of that theater. So yes, we see her just standing in front of it with the biggest grin on her face. And then this girl comes by and she's like, would you mind taking my picture? She's like, sure. So she's standing in front. Oh, you know, I'm almost starting to, in a really weird way, feel sorry for Luann. I think anybody who is that self-absorbed, there's a reason for it, right? Like, she's not getting enough, I don't know, love and attention from other people that she has to give it to herself. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't quite make sense because, of course, we know that Barbara and Bethany had that intervention for her. And so people do care about her, but it's like a bottomless pit. She just needs more and more and more, and she'll never feel full enough. Barbara is like having her come to Jesus moment. You know, I'm realizing that like she wasn't there for me, and now she's not there for you, Sonia. I'm really starting to see the light. And these other women are getting in your head. I mean, she's not wrong about Luann. But her complaint earlier was that nobody cared about her. And that's probably still true about the others too. We know Ramona doesn't like her. Bethany's like, Barbara, don't you feel better? Like, don't you feel included? Like, you feel part of the group now, don't you? Don't you think you're part of everything? And she's like, I do. I feel better now. Okay, so now they're having massages. So these masseuses were coming. There was going to be one in, I don't know, Bethany's room, one in Ramona and Sonia's room, and then one in Luann's room. And they're like, take that one. The one that was in Luann's room, have that be in your room. You should do it, Barbara. Go, go, go. And they're like encouraging Barbara to go tell the masseuse to move everything into her room. And she's like, yeah, I'm taking her massage. Okay. Now we see 2 hours later and Luann's walking in the front door without truffle fries. Okay, well, Luann and Sonia are going at it right now. Luann comes in the room and they're like, we're waiting for massages. And it's Sonia and Dorinda on the bed. She's like, well, the beach was wonderful, by the way. And they said, well, we missed you. We had a nice lunch. And she said, I just needed some time to myself. Then Dorinda said, well, Sonia kind of needed some support there. She was not in a very good place after that meeting. Luann said, well, yeah, I kind of understood, but I kind of didn't understand because after we had left there, the whole ride over, you were fine. You were fine at the meeting. You were fine in the car after the meeting. And I didn't know where this came from. Turns out that Luann thinks that Sonia needs a lot of attention. Little pot calling the kettle black there. But she said, I just think that these are my people and you're not appreciating them. Sonia's like, I didn't even want to go to that meeting. And she's like, so why did you come? Luann's not wrong. She's like, you went for Bethany because Bethany made you come. You didn't come for me. You went for Bethany. You should go for yourself if you want to go. These ladies are so crazy. Somehow they hug and they're friends and calling each other diva in the best way ever. So Lou and Sonia will live another day. Now it is nighttime and everybody's getting ready to go out and getting dressed, and Barbara is spray tanning herself in the bedroom. You guys know how white this place is, right? I've talked about it probably 100 times before. White ceiling, white floor, white walls, white furniture. The spray tan stuff gets all over the white leather of the bed. I mean, come on. That's not cool. Anyway, Tinsley has been texting back and forth with Brett. The 60-year-old man that she wants to get her claws into before Ramona does. Bethany's like, let me see your phone. And so Bethany says, meet me at the whatever bar, and then you can bail when my friends get there. So Tinsley has a date. She's going to hang out with this guy, and then everybody else is coming later, I guess. Oh my God, you guys. Tinsley makes for the worst first date ever because already she has mentioned her mother and babies. She's rambling about, really, it's my mother. And I mean, I probably should have babies. I'm 43 years old, but I don't know, maybe one, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not talking about that right now. Yeah, you are talking about it right now. Sweetie, that's the problem. You might not want to be, but you are. Then she says, I might be okay with just chihuahuas. Oh, God. And Brett might be okay with Ramona because I'm pretty sure he's rethinking his decision right now. Oh, that poor thing. Dale is so in her head. Well, Tinsy, you're 43 years old. You better freeze those eggs. I want a grandchild. If that was constantly in the back of my head all the time, I would be crazy too. The girls take off, except for Luann, who was still in her room. Everybody was dressed and ready and by the door ready to go. Dorinda says to Bethany, Luann is mad that there wasn't a massage table in her room. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not because it wasn't on camera. But again, a lot of great things happen on this show off camera. She said she's up in her room pouting, and Bethany's like, good, who cares? You snooze, you lose. She had to go to the beach and all by herself. She had to go for a swim. She didn't care about anybody else, and then she had to go stare at her poster. So that's up to her. Then Ramona felt bad. She didn't want them all to be in one car and then Luann by herself in a car, so she stayed behind to go with Luann. But when she found out that Tinsley was already out on a date, that kind of made Ramona mad because Ramona's like, I could have been out on a date. I'd rather be on a date than out with these girls. Yeah, we know. Okay, so the first car of ladies, which is everybody except Ramona and Luann, get to the restaurant, and Bethany's like, I want to spy on my friend for a second first. So she looks over and she's like, oh my God, she's kissing him already. She's kissing him. Why are you shocked? Were you not there when she met Scott for the first time? Because we were. And she was all over him when they first met. Do you remember that? It was like a double date with Carol and Adam, and Carol and Adam were just like looking at each other laughing because she and Scott were going at it. Okay, so the date's over and Tinsley finds the others. I think Tinsley's She seems a little drunk. I think she's like well on her way to being sloshed. Anyway, she's feeling good right now. And Bethany's like, just tell me this. Do you like him? And she goes, I do like him. And Bethany's like, oh my God. Okay. I've never seen Bethany that excited about anything. You guys know my theory that it somehow has something to do. I could be wrong. God knows I've been wrong before many times. I just wonder if it doesn't have something to do with the fact that the last boy she loved and wanted to marry was somebody that Carol found for her. And I think Bethany would love to be the person that found Tinsley's soulmate. I'm just saying. But good God, he's 60 years old. Even Sonia's like, this is terrible. Like, she wants to have a family. And the fact of the matter is, maybe Tinsley doesn't want to have a family. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe Dale wants Tinsley to have a family. I wish she could, like, get real with herself about it, because whatever you choose is fine. But she should know what she really wants. Unless she is really just thinking of this guy as someone to kiss and have fun with, which is possible. Okay, now they're sitting down at the table, and Luann and Ramona get there. And yeah, Luann was a little pissed about the massage. This is now the second time that she mentioned, well, I mean, I was the last one to get a massage, so. And Bethany's like, but did you get one? Yes, I did, but it was very rushed. People were in there every 5 minutes, and then she goes, well, and then the hairdresser left because he was wiped out because he had did all your hair. But anyway. It's fine. Oh, yeah, it's fine, all right. Okay, guys, I have a new poll question right here. Who do you guys think has been feeding Kool-Aid to Barbara? Is it Luann? Or is it the rest of the ladies? Because the rest of the ladies think that finally the Kool-Aid has worn off of Barbara and her eyes are open and clear. In Luann's confessional, she's like, these ladies are brainwashing her now against me. So, yeah, quick question. Who's giving Barbara Kool-Aid? Because Barbara now feels that this is the right moment to tell Luann how she feels. I'm sorry, I have something to say to you, Luann. It isn't very nice, but I feel like I was there for you when you were in rehab. I kind of put my whole life on hold. Yes, you did, and I appreciate it. But I don't feel like you were there for me today when I needed it. Bethany was there, but I needed a big old Lou hug, and you weren't there. Let me give you a hug right now. And Bethany's like, let her talk. I feel like you're trying to keep her from continuing this conversation. No, I'm not. I just want to give her a hug. So she comes around the table, gives her a hug, sits back down. But now this is going to be a little bit of a gang up on Lou, I think, because Brenda is chiming in, and all these people are chiming in on behalf of Barbara, but really I think just because they want to. Because they're all a little bit fed up with Luann being all about Luann. Oh, okay. Well, Tinsley is speaking up on behalf of Barbara, and Luann is not going to let Tinsley, of all people, speak to her that way. It is really an unspoken law that among these women, Tinsley is like 2 levels beneath. She has said it before several times, but like, she's the kid's sister. She's the one that really needs to acquiesce, you know, give your room away, do this, do that. She is treated less than the other housewives. So when she speaks up, it's like, who are you? Bethany could do it, but Tinsley can't. So she said, what isn't right? And Tinsley said, using her as a shield that Barbara was protecting you. And then she stumbled on her words a little bit, and Luann mocked it. Oh, and everyone was like, whoa. And then Luann tries to backpedal. Tinsley goes, yes, Luann, I was drinking. And she goes, no, I just didn't understand what she said. You made fun of her stumbling over her words. In the confessional, Bethany's like, that just hit me like upside the head when Luann made fun of Tinsley. Like, who are you? Of anybody here? You know, you got to give it to Luann, though, because she will not be ganged up on. All the women are really kind of going crazy. Tinsley's like, oh, please. And she goes, well, you're chiming in on a relationship that you know nothing about. She goes, I do. I was there when she was hurting today. And you go for a swim. And boy, I don't know. What a day. You turn your back on these ladies for a second and this is what happens. Okay, side note, while this like fighting is now going back and forth between everybody, Bethany, before Luann and Ramona got there, she had ordered lobster Pop-Tarts for the table. And like it stuck in my head because I thought that was funny. Oh my God, they just got delivered, you guys, in a toaster. These two like Pop-Tarts sticking out of a toaster. It's so cute. But anyway, the fighting now is turning into Luann going, oh, you're just going to build me up to tear me down? Are you mean girls now? Are we done now? And Bethany goes, no. But everybody, I mean, there's a lot of crosstalk going on. And Barbara's still trying to finish her point and all this stuff. And then finally, Bethany raises her hand. Excuse me, Countess. When's the last time you asked me how I'm doing about Dennis? Well, her answer is, when's the last time you asked about me? And Bethany goes, all the time. So just answer. And she goes, well, it's been reciprocal. You know, it hasn't, because otherwise she would say. She's got to know she's wrong. It's getting really loud, and Sonia is kind of getting quiet, and she looks like she's going to start crying. I don't know if it's the bickering or I'm not sure. Anyway, Bethany's starting to get a little manic. I think this is when we get the breakdown. But at this point, she's like, you will never change because you dined out on your sobriety. And she's like, you dined out on it. And she goes, I did not. How dare you? Okay, you guys. This is Bethany's breakdown. And it's not as funny as I thought it was going to be. I was hoping this would be more fun to recap. It's not. She's hyperventilating, and I think it's a panic attack. It looks very much like she's having a panic attack. But the whole time, you know, she's saying to Luann, you never checked on Dennis, and he did this for you and that, and he's dead now. He died of an overdose at the same time we were going through this thing with you, and then he died and you never asked me about him. She said, I got you into rehab and you left 2 weeks early. I did not. I left a week early for work. And she goes, for cabaret, for effing cabaret. You left rehab that I got you into for free, and I kept the press away from you. When you were getting in the car, you almost killed your friends. You were running through a field in a negligee. I kept the press from ever finding all that out. Well, we found out now. She said, I was in a bad place. But this isn't even like a fight anymore. It's just like slowly all these women are seeing that something is happening to Bethany here. Dorinda's like, you're going to have a heart attack. What she's really doing, like I said, it looks like she can't get a deep breath, and it really looks like she's having some kind of an anxiety attack. And that is how this episode ends, right in the middle of it. It's a to be continued, so great. We get to start next week right in the middle of this panic attack. All right. That's it for me. I've gone 18 minutes over my allotted time here in the library, so I gotta pack up and get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to leave a comment. What did you guys think about this episode? There's so much. There was so much to talk about. For sure, I'm gonna be right back here at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of New York City. And I hope you are going to be there too. I'll see you then. Bye.